The stars twinkled peacefully above the new human colony on Proxima Centauri b. 500,000 brave souls had made the journey from Earth to establish humanity's first foothold among the stars. Back on Earth, 11 billion people went about their daily lives, unaware that everything was about to change. John Miller stood at the window of Earth Defense Force headquarters, watching the sunset over the Rocky Mountains. His captain's uniform was crisp, his posture perfect. 20 years of military service had prepared him for many things, but not for what happened next. "Captain Miller, you need to see this," said Lisa Wright, bursting into his office. The intelligence officer's normally calm face showed clear worry. Miller followed her to the command center where dozens of officers stared at the main screen. A massive fleet of ships had appeared near Jupiter. They were like nothing humans had ever built. Elegant, almost organic in design and numbering in the hundreds. "They just appeared," said General Peters. "No warp signatures, no approach vectors. 1 minute empty space, the next minute, this." "First contact," Miller whispered. Within hours, the alien ships sent a message. They represented something called the Galactic Cooperative, or GalCoop. They requested a meeting with Earth's leaders. 3 days later, Miller found himself in Geneva, sitting beside the president, as Ambassador Zix Vorel of the GalCoop entered the room. The alien was tall and slender, with blue-gray skin and 4 arms. Its eyes were large and completely black. "Humans," it said through a translation device. "We welcome you to the galactic community." The words were friendly, but Miller noticed something in the alien's posture, a subtle condescension like an adult speaking to a child. "We thank you for this welcome," said the president. "We look forward to peaceful relations." Ambassador Zix Vorel nodded. "Peace is our goal as well. Unfortunately, your world sits at a most unfortunate position." The alien activated a holographic map showing hundreds of star systems. Earth was highlighted at the center, sitting at the junction of 3 differently colored regions. "You are at the border of 3 powerful coalitions," explained the ambassador. "A strategic position that could trigger a devastating war." The president leaned forward. "We have no interest in galactic politics. We only wish to develop in peace." "Understandable," said Zix Vorel. "Which is why we offer protection. Earth will become a protected member of the GalCoop. We will establish bases in your system and ensure your safety." Miller noticed the careful wording. Not an equal member, a protected one. "And what would Earth provide in return?" he asked. The ambassador's black eyes shifted to him. "Resource, rights primarily. Your system is rich in certain elements we value. We would need exclusive mining rights to your outer planets and asteroids, a small price for security." The president frowned. "We need time to consider this offer." "Of course," said Zix Vorel. "We will withdraw to Jupiter's orbit and await your answer. You have 2 standard weeks." After the aliens left, Earth Security Council gathered. "They're not giving us a choice," said Miller. "This is a thinly veiled threat." "We can't fight that fleet," General Peters replied. "We've never even left our own solar system until recently." Lisa Wright entered the room with a tablet. "Sir, we've decoded some of their transmissions. They're not waiting for our answer. They're waiting for reinforcements." She showed them the intercepted communications. The GalCoop forces were discussing resource extraction and minimal resistance scenarios. "They're planning to take what they want regardless of our answer," Miller said. The president stood up, face grim. "Then we have 2 weeks to prepare." "For what?" asked General Peters. "We can't possibly win against them." Miller looked at the images of the alien fleet. "No one expects humans to fight impossible odds," he said. "That will be our advantage." The sun set over Geneva. Earth's leaders began planning the defense of humanity. They had 2 weeks before the aliens returned. 2 weeks to prepare a surprise for a vastly superior force that thought humans would simply surrender. They were about to learn their first lesson about humans. Never corner them. The Emergency Global Summit in Geneva brought together leaders who had been enemies just days before. Chinese, American, Russian, and European officials sat side by side. Old conflicts seemed tiny now, compared to the alien threat hanging over Earth. "We have confirmed the aliens are calling for more ships," Lisa Wright said, pointing to the data on the main screen. "When they return, their fleet will be at least 3 times larger." The room fell silent. Even with Earth's combined military might, they couldn't match such numbers. "Then we surrender?" asked the Chinese premier. "No," said a voice from the back of the room. A tall man with glasses walked forward. "We have options they don't expect." This was Dr. Ben Carter, head of the world's most secret weapons program. Few people in the room even knew he existed. "What options?" asked Captain Miller. "We can't match their technology." Carter smiled. "That's where you're wrong. We've had certain technologies for decades that were kept secret even from most world governments." He activated a projection, showing designs for weapons that made the military leaders lean forward in surprise. "Antimatter weapons? Gravity manipulation? These are real?" asked General Peters. "Very real," said Carter. "We've been developing them since the Roswell incident. We just never had a reason to use them." Colonel Sam Ellis stood up. "Even with, these weapons, we're outnumbered at least 100 to 1. Then we change the rules," said Miller. "We can't fight them ship to ship. We need to be smarter." For the next hour, they outlined a plan so bold that many thought it was suicide. But no one had better ideas. "All military forces will combine under one command," said the president. "We call it the Terra Protocol." Major Karen Peterson spoke up. "What about civilians? We need to get people to safety." "Start moving them to the underground shelters built during the Cold War," ordered the president. "Tell them it's just a drill." As the meeting ended, 2 scientists approached Miller. They were Olivia Morgan and Alan Diaz from the Advanced Research Division. "Captain, we've been studying the alien ships from the surveillance data," said Olivia. "We think we can reverse engineer some of their tech." "How quickly?" asked Miller. "Days, not weeks," said Alan. "They use a type of shielding we've theorized but never built. With Dr. Carter's secret tech, we might be able to create weapons they're not protected against." Miller nodded. "Do it. And keep it quiet." While the world's eyes were on Jupiter, where the alien fleet waited, humanity worked in secret. The moon, always visible but rarely noticed, became the center of Earth's defense plans. "The aliens won't expect an attack from the moon," said Colonel Ellis as he oversaw the installation of massive railguns in the lunar surface. "They'll be watching Earth." The Earth Defense Force flagship Defiance underwent rapid upgrades in a hidden base under the Pacific Ocean. What was once Earth's most advanced warship became something entirely new. "Will it be enough?" asked Lisa Wright as she watched workers install the experimental tech. "No," said Miller honestly. "But we don't need to win. We just need to show them that taking Earth will cost more than it's worth." In homes around the, world, families packed emergency kits without knowing the real danger. News channels reported military exercises as the reason for increased activity. Only those at the highest levels knew the truth. 2 days before the aliens were due to return, Miller stood on the deck of the Defiance. The ship had changed dramatically. Its hull now contained technology that didn't exist a week ago. "Captain, all systems are ready," reported Lieutenant Frank Cooper. Miller looked at Earth through the view screen. Beautiful, blue, and seemingly defenseless. The aliens thought humans would surrender rather than fight impossible odds. They were about to learn their second lesson about humans. Never underestimate what they can build when their backs are against the wall. The alien fleet returned exactly when they said they would. But now there were over 300 massive ships instead of just 100. They filled the space near Jupiter like a swarm of metal insects. Earth watched through its telescopes and satellites as the fleet moved closer. On screens around the world, people saw the aliens for the first time. Many prayed, some panicked, most just stared in silent fear. Ambassador Zix Vorel's face appeared on all communication channels. His forearms were crossed in what humans now recognized as a sign of authority. "People of Earth," the alien said, "your time to decide has ended. The Galactic Cooperative requires your answer now." The president stood before the world's cameras. His words were for the aliens, but his eyes sent a different message to his people. The signal for Operation Thunderstrike. Ambassador, we need 24 hours to prepare our people for this transition, the president said, using the exact phrase that was the secret trigger. Zix Voral nodded. Very wise. We will remain in orbit and await your formal surrender tomorrow. As the aliens moved their ships into Earth orbit, they scanned the planet carefully. They saw cities with lights on. They saw military bases with ships and planes sitting idle. They saw exactly what humans wanted them to see. What they didn't see was the dark side of the moon. All units in position, reported Colonel Ellis from the Hidden Moon Base. The aliens have taken the bait. Captain Miller sat in the command chair of the Defiance, hidden behind Mars. Remember the plan, he told his crew. We only get one chance at surprise. Lieutenant Frank Cooper checked his fighter one last time. He led the first wave of stealth ships, their hulls covered in the new technology that made them invisible. 2 alien sensors. This is it, he told his pilots, for Earth. At exactly 0300 GMT, Operation Thunderstrike began. The moon, which had appeared dark and lifeless to alien scans, suddenly lit up with energy. Massive doors opened in the lunar surface, revealing hundreds of railguns. They fired as one, sending special projectiles at near light speed toward the alien fleet. The aliens had no warning. 20 of their ships exploded before they even knew they were under attack. Now, ordered Miller. The Defiance and 50 other Earth ships jumped out from behind Mars, weapons firing. Cooper led his fighters directly at the alien command ship. Stay in formation, he told his pilots. Remember the weak spots Dr. Morgan identified. The aliens scrambled to respond. Their technology was far more advanced, but they were caught completely off guard. They had expected surrender, not an attack. How dare they? Screamed Ambassador Zix Voral from his command center. All ships destroy them. But Earth had one more surprise. The projectiles fired from the moon weren't just weapons. Some were small drones that attached to alien ships and sent back data about their shields and weapons. Their shield frequency changes every 12 seconds, reported Lisa Wright from Earth Command, sending you the pattern now. With this information, Earth's weapons became much more effective. The alien ships, designed to fight other advanced races, had never faced humans before. They didn't expect the creative tactics, the suicide runs, the sheer determination. The Defiance took heavy damage as it charged the alien flagship. Miller felt his ship shudder as alien weapons hit them. Hull breach on decks 4 through 7, reported his officer. Shields failing. Keep going, ordered Miller. Get us close enough. The Defiance crashed into the side of the massive alien ship. Not an accident, but the plan all along. As the ships locked together, Earth troops poured into the alien vessel. The time the battle ended, 40% of the alien fleet was destroyed or disabled. The rest retreated back toward Jupiter, stunned by what had happened. Earth had won the first battle, but at a terrible cost. Millions were dead. The Defiance was lost with half its crew. Cooper and most of his pilots were gone. As the aliens fled, they sent a message to every corner of the galaxy. Humans fight, danger, send all available ships. Earth had just announced its presence to the galaxy in the most violent way possible. There would be no going back now. 3 months after the first battle, Earth looked very different. Factories that once made cars now built ship parts. Schools taught children how to survive alien attacks. Every person had a job in the war effort. We won't survive another large attack without more ships, said Admiral Helen Davis during the morning briefing. She had been promoted after so many officers died in the first battle. Production is at maximum speed already, replied Nicole Mason, the chief engineer. She and her partner Paul Garcia had developed new ways to build ships faster than ever before. The Mars colony has converted completely to shipbuilding, added Paul, and we've started using the Europa base as well. Admiral Davis nodded. It's still not enough. The aliens will send more ships than last time. She was right. Earth intelligence had detected alien movements, suggesting a massive fleet was gathering. The first battle had only made the aliens angry. "We need to be smarter, not just bigger," said Lisa Wright. "Our spies report the aliens have supply lines that stretch across dozens of star systems. We hit those, we slow them down." "Hit and run," agreed the Admiral. "We strike their supply ships and then disappear before they can respond." Earth now had small, fast ships that could jump quickly between star systems. They began attacking alien supply convoys, stealing technology and destroying fuel depots. It wouldn't stop the coming attack, but it would buy more time. During one of these raids, Captain Miller, who had survived the destruction of the Defiance by escaping in a pod, made an unexpected discovery. "We're picking up a distress signal," reported his new communications officer. "But it's not human or Galcoop." Miller ordered his ship to investigate. They found a damaged vessel of a design they'd never seen before. Inside were insect-like beings about 1 meter tall. "We are Vrex," said their leader when communication was established. "We fight Galcoop too." This was Earth's first contact with another species that opposed the Galcoop. The Vrex came from Tau Ceti and had been fighting the alien coalition for over 50 years. "They take our worlds, our resources," explained the Vrex leader. "Many species fight them, but we are all separate, divided." Miller brought the Vrex back to Earth. Their ship contained technology humans had never imagined, especially in biology and medicine. "They can regrow limbs and heal almost any wound," Dr. Carter told the Leadership Council. "This could change everything for our troops." But the Vrex also brought troubling news. 3 other species had tried to resist the Galcoop, as humans were doing. All 3 were now extinct, their worlds turned to ash. "Galcoop call humans extinction-level threat species now," the Vrex leader said. "They gather biggest fleet in history, thousands of ships. Earth leaders knew they couldn't match such numbers. Even with the Vrex help and their own rapid building program, they would be overwhelmed." Then came another discovery. Captain Julia Martinez led an expedition to explore unusual readings from Mars. What they found shocked everyone. "These are artificial structures," she reported, showing images of strange metal objects buried under the Martian surface. "They're millions of years old. The objects contain technology far beyond even what the Galcoop possessed. And there were symbols that matched ancient Earth writings. Earth was seeded by an ancient race," Dr. Carter explained to the Council. "We might be descendants of a powerful species that the Galcoop fears. As scientists studied the Martian ruins, they discovered designs for a weapon unlike anything they had seen before. It would use a star's own power against an enemy. It's too dangerous," warned Admiral Davis after seeing the plans. "We could destroy our own system. If we don't use it, there won't be a system left to save," replied Miller. Word of the weapon spread among Earth's population. People were afraid but determined. The alien fleet was coming. This might be their only chance. The main science lab under the Rocky Mountains buzzed with activity. Dr. Ben Carter hadn't slept in 3 days. He and his team worked non-stop on what they now called the Prometheus Protocol. "If this works, we could weaponize the sun itself," he explained to Captain Miller and Admiral Davis. "A controlled nova reaction that sends energy along specific paths." "And if it doesn't work?" asked the Admiral. "Best case, nothing happens. Worst case..." He didn't finish the sentence. Everyone knew what he meant. The sun could go nova for real, destroying Earth and all planets in the system. "It's too dangerous," said Miller. "There must be another way." Across the hall, another debate was happening. Commander Eric Taylor led Earth's remaining fighters in hit-and-run attacks against alien scouts. His ships had become experts at striking and disappearing before the aliens could respond. "We're delaying them, but that's all," Taylor told the War Council. "Our latest intelligence shows they have gathered over 50,000 ships. We have less than 2,000. The numbers shocked everyone. Even with the help of the Vrex, who had called their own ships to join Earth, they would be overwhelmed. That evening, the Vrex leader met with Earth's council. His insect eyes seemed sad, if such a thing was possible. "3 species before you tried to fight," he said. "The Noor from Sirius system, the Talani from Procyon, the Zith from Epsilon Eridani. All gone now. Planets burned. No survivors. He showed them images of dead worlds that once held billions of living beings. The message was clear: surrender or face extinction. As these discussions continued, Captain Julia Martinez made another discovery in the Martian ruins. She found a room that seemed to be a control center, with technology that still worked after millions of years. "Look at this," she told her team, pointing to symbols that matched ancient Earth writing. "The builders of this place visited early humans. They may have altered our DNA." The information she sent back to Earth contained the final piece of the Prometheus Protocol. With it, Dr. Carter could target the solar energy with perfect accuracy, hitting only what they aimed at. "It's ready," he announced to the Council. "But I won't activate it without the consent of all Earth's people. This affects everyone." For the first time since the aliens arrived, the full truth was shared with Earth's population: the size of the alien fleet, the fate of other resistant species, the Prometheus weapon and its risks. "We will hold a global vote," said the President. "Every human gets a say in our response." For 24 hours, people across Earth and its colonies voted. The result was clear: 89% chose to use the weapon. Humanity would not go quietly. "We need volunteers for the deployment mission," Admiral Davis told her officers. "It's likely a one-way trip." Lieutenant Diane Russell stepped forward first. "My family died in the first attack," she said. "I'll lead the mission." 10 other officers joined her. They would pilot small ships to place the Prometheus devices at key points around the sun. Each device was the size of a car, but contained technology that could direct the power of a star. As they prepared for the mission, Earth's remaining fleet formed a defensive line. They would have to hold off the alien armada long enough for the Prometheus Protocol to be activated. "The aliens will arrive in 36 hours, Lisa Wright told the War Council. "Our scouts report they plan to sterilize Earth completely. No survivors this time." Miller looked at the tired faces around him. "Then we make these hours count," he said. "Humanity won't die hiding, we'll die fighting." But secretly, he still hoped Dr. Carter's weapon would work. That hope was all they had left. The alien armada appeared at the edge of the solar system, like a dark cloud. 50,000 ships of various sizes moved as one toward Earth. From the command center buried deep under the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Davis watched the enemy approach on the large screen. "All ships report ready," said her communications officer. "The Vrex fleet has arrived as well." The Vrex had brought 300 ships to help Earth. It was a brave gesture, but against 50,000 it made little difference. General William Harris stood before the combined Earth fleet. His gray hair showed his age, but his eyes burned with determination. "This day humanity may end," he said in a broadcast to all ships. "But we will not die begging. We will not die hiding. Humanity dies standing facing our enemy, and we will make them remember us for 1,000 years. His words, later known as the Humanity Dies Standing speech, spread across all human settlements. People gathered in shelters, in homes, in colonies on Mars and Europa. They watched and waited. Captain Miller commanded the flagship Resilience, built to replace the lost Defiance. He looked at his crew, most of them young, many who had never seen combat before. "Follow the plan," he told them. "No heroes today. Just do your job." Lieutenant Diane Russell and her team had already left on their mission to place the Prometheus devices around the sun. Their small ships were nearly invisible to sensors. They had to finish their work before the main battle began. "Device 1, in position," Russell reported. "Moving to second location." As she spoke, the alien fleet entered attack range, their weapons powered up, glowing in the darkness of space. The Earth fleet, just 2,000 ships, moved to meet them. "Begin attack. Pattern Alpha," ordered Admiral Davis. Earth ships fired first, targeting the lead alien vessels. For a moment, it seemed they had surprised the enemy again. Several alien ships exploded under the combined fire. Then the aliens responded. Thousands of energy beams cut through space. 20 Earth ships vanished instantly. The battle had truly begun. The Vrex attacked from above the solar plane, their unusual ships moving in patterns the aliens found hard to predict. They caused damage out of proportion to their numbers. Commander Taylor led a squadron that targeted alien communication ships. Cut off their ability to coordinate, he had told his pilots. Make them fight as individuals, not as a group. For the first hour, Earth forces fought with unexpected effectiveness. The aliens had expected quick surrender. Instead, they faced determined resistance that stung them from multiple directions, but numbers began to tell. Earth ships were destroyed one after another. The defensive line broke in 3 places. The alien fleet pushed forward, closing on Earth itself. "Admiral, we can't hold them," reported Miller as the Resilience took heavy damage. "They're breaking through everywhere." Admiral Davis checked the status of the Prometheus mission. Russell had placed 4 of the 5 devices. They needed just minutes more. "Implement the Hornet's Nest," Davis ordered. This was their final strategy. Earth ships began to retreat in a pattern designed to draw the aliens into a tight formation. The aliens, eager to finish the battle, followed. "5th device in position," came Russell's voice, weak through the static. "Ready for activation." Dr. Carter looked to Admiral Davis. She nodded once. "Activating Prometheus protocol," he said, pressing his palm against the scanner. For a moment, nothing happened. The battle continued. Earth ships fell one by one. Then, the sun pulsed once, twice, 3 times. Golden fire erupted from its surface, but not in all directions. The solar flares shot along precisely calculated vectors directly toward the main alien fleet. The aliens had no time to react. The controlled stellar event engulfed their ships in solar fire. In less than 10 minutes, 49,000 alien vessels were destroyed. Over 100 billion alien beings died in those moments. The remaining alien ships turned and fled, not even stopping to rescue survivors. On Earth, people watched in stunned silence. They had won, but at what cost? Humanity had just killed more sentient beings than its entire population several times over. News of what happened in the solar system spread across the galaxy at the speed of light. The images of the sun's energy being weaponized traveled from world to world. Alien civilizations watched in horror and awe as a small, newly spacefaring species destroyed the largest fleet ever assembled. 100 billion dead, whispered an alien leader on a distant world. How is this possible? The remaining Galcoop forces pulled back from human space immediately. No one wanted to be the next target of the species that could control a star. On Earth, the victory celebration lasted only hours before the weight of what they had done settled in. Humans had killed more sentient beings than their entire population several times over. No species in recorded galactic history had such a kill count. Admiral Davis stood before the United Nations, her uniform crisp, but her face showing the strain of recent events. "We did what was necessary for survival," she said. "But we must recognize the gravity of our actions. We have become the most feared species in known space." Military leaders from around the world nodded in agreement. The fear in alien communications was clear. Earth was now classified as a planet-killer civilization. Captain Miller, recovering from injuries sustained in the final battle, watched the speech from his hospital bed. The nurse tending to him was quiet, avoiding his eyes. "Do you think we did the right thing?" he asked her. She paused before answering. "My brother was on Europa when the aliens attacked the first time. He died defending the colony. So yes, I think we did what we had to do. But not everyone felt the same. In cities across Earth, people debated the ethics of the Prometheus weapon. Some called it necessary self-defense. Others worried about what humanity had become. Dr. Olivia Morgan led a new initiative working with the Vrex and other alien species who had contacted Earth after the battle. Many oppressed worlds saw humans as liberators now. "The Galcoop central government has collapsed," a Vrex representative told her. 3 major species have declared independence already. More will follow. Morgan looked troubled. "We didn't want to start a galactic civil war." "You didn't," said the Vrex. "You ended one that has been going on for centuries. Many species suffered under Galcoop rule. Now they are free." In Geneva, Earth leaders gathered to establish new principles for dealing with alien civilizations. They called it the Solar Accords. First, read the president, Earth formally prohibits the use of extinction-level weapons except in cases of imminent species extinction. Second, we will not claim territory beyond our solar system without peaceful negotiation. Third, we will defend any species that requests our protection from aggressive expansion. The accords were controversial, especially the third point. Some argued Earth should focus on rebuilding, not becoming galactic peacekeepers. Captain Miller, now promoted to admiral, became Earth's first ambassador to the newly formed Galactic Assembly. In his first speech, he addressed representatives from over 50 species. Humans do not wish to rule, he told them. We only wish to exist in peace. But know this, we will defend ourselves and our allies with all necessary force. The alien representatives murmured among themselves. They had seen what all necessary force meant to humans. As Earth rebuilt its cities and mourned its dead, Lisa Wright made a disturbing discovery. Analyzing communications from before the first contact, she found patterns suggesting the aliens had been watching Earth for decades. They knew exactly who we were, she told Admiral Davis. This wasn't a random encounter. They targeted us specifically. Why? Asked Davis. Wright shook her head. I don't know yet, but I intend to find out. As night fell over a recovering Earth, humans looked up at the stars with new eyes. They were no longer alone, no longer innocent, and no longer helpless. The galaxy now knew them as the species with the highest kill count in history, and prayed they would never need to add to that number. 10 years passed since the Great Battle. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined before. Humans now traveled between stars with ease. They had colonies on 20 planets across 12 star systems. Their technology had advanced by centuries in just a decade. The Terra Protectorate, led by Earth, included 32 formerly oppressed species. Each world governed itself, but all stood together against any threat. The Vrex had become humanity's closest allies, their biological knowledge helping humans live longer, healthier lives. Admiral Miller, now with gray in his hair, stood on the observation deck of the New Earth space station. It was the largest structure humans had ever built, a symbol of their new place in the galaxy. Beautiful, isn't it? Asked Lisa Wright, joining him at the window. She was now Director of Intelligence for the Protectorate. Sometimes I still can't believe we survived, Miller replied. Wright nodded. About that, I need to show you something. She led him to a secure room where images and data filled the screens. For years, she had been piecing together a puzzle from alien databases and ancient records. The Galcoop's attack on Earth wasn't random, she explained. We were deliberately provoked. We suspected that, said Miller. But why? Wright pointed to images of ancient ruins found on a dozen worlds. They all shared symbols with the Martian ruins. There's a species called the Architects. They've existed for millions of years, watching younger races develop. According to these records, they've been monitoring humans since we first appeared. Miller frowned. Are you saying they engineered the war? They created a test, Wright answered. The Galcoop was pushed to attack us because the Architects wanted to see what we would do. A test that killed billions, Miller said angrily. What kind of test is that? One to see if humans have what they call the balance. The records say we're the only species they've found with both exceptional capacity for destruction and exceptional capacity for compassion. She showed him more data. The Architects had watched humanity for thousands of years. They saw humans kill each other in wars but also risk their lives to save strangers. They saw cruelty but also kindness that no other species showed. They needed to know what we would do with real power, Wright continued. If we would use it only to destroy, or if we would use it wisely. And did we pass this test? Miller asked. Yes. The Solar Accords convinced them we had the power to dominate the galaxy after our victory. Instead, we chose to protect, not conquer. 3 days later, a ship unlike any seen before appeared near Earth. It was beautiful, seemingly made of light and crystal. From it came beings that looked almost human, but with eyes that reflected the stars themselves. They were the architects, finally revealing themselves to humanity. "Your species has shown the balance," their leader told Earth's representatives. "You have the highest kill count of any living species, yet you use that power to free others, not enslave them." The architects invited Earth to join what they called the Elder Conclave, races that had achieved true wisdom and balance. It would mean access to knowledge and technology beyond imagination. "We accept," said the President of Earth, "but with conditions. All members of the Terra Protectorate must be included. We go forward together or not at all." The architects agreed. For the first time in their ancient history, they had found a young species worthy of their full respect. As the news spread across Earth and its colonies, people looked to the stars with new wonder. Humanity had faced extinction and survived. They had killed more than their entire population to preserve their existence. They had then used their power not for conquest, but for protection. Earth would always be known as the planet with the highest kill count in galactic history. But now it would also be known for what came after: the wisdom to use that terrible power to bring peace instead of war. The human journey among the stars had truly begun.